Hello everyone, I am ANVECOM, and today I'm going to talk about Smashketball MAX, the insano Smash Ultimate custom stage I released to the public about 6 months ago. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we found an actual, major problem with this stage. After all the testing, the 2 years of just playing on this stage before we ever actually uploaded it and just fixing bugs and all that sort of stuff, we found something new. And as a result, I am posting this video. A patch, if you will. Now, if you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, feel free to watch the original video I posted 6 months ago. It's a very in-depth explanation about all the mechanics of the stage. But if you don't want to watch that, here's the TLDR. Smashketball MAX takes the most fundamental concept of Smashketball, that being basketball within Smash Brothers, and you or your opponent becomes the basketball, and runs in a completely different direction from basically every other Smashketball stage ever made. As you can see here, Smashketball MAX is an enclosed box. It uses warp zones instead of cannons for its goal detection. It features actual basket-like structures built around these warp zones because it's a basketball stage. You gotta have baskets, dude. There's platforms in the middle, there's lava in the top corners, so you can do fancy slam dunk things, and there's bumpers in the bottom corners. Combine all of these aspects together and throw in 2 years worth of tweaking, and you get a masterpiece. Or so we thought. You see, on the up until now, which this patch fixes, we've discovered that camping underneath the baskets is incredibly broken. Having a low ceiling above you as a zoner character limits your opponent's approach options to the point to where that the game just slows to a crawl. It is not fun to play on anymore. So, with just how passionate I guess I am about this stage, I desperately wanted to find a fix, and fortunately we found it. It is available out today at the time of this video's release. I am in draw mode, I need to be in edit mode. We threw in some wind boxes in the bottom corners after lots of dialing in and stuff. This was the most straightforward option to fixing the camping problem, and it seems to work reasonably well. Now, all that the wind boxes do is that they push you towards the center of the stage. They behave exactly like wind boxes. You can now no longer stand directly underneath the baskets without getting pushed towards the center of the stage. In general, it changes advantage state and disadvantage state a little bit, but otherwise, the stage basically plays the same, albeit with one new addition. As you can see, you kind of get boosted by the wind boxes. This means you can perform boosted rolls, boosted aerials, and boosted sliding tilts and smash attacks. We officially refer to this as the cha-cha slide mechanic because we're monsters. And that's basically everything that we wanted to cover. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, get subscribed. I'm currently planning on actually doing gameplay with commentary on this stage sometime soon, and actually doing a tier list. Yeah, in case you haven't noticed, there's an awful lot more left to this video. That's because we've gone the extra mile. Allow me to explain. Over the past 2 years, just with playing this stage so much and fixing things, we've noticed a handful of, I guess, annoyances would be the correct word. The stage still is really good, but there's just a handful of things that aren't quite right. The thing is, the only way to really fix them is to actually tweak the geometry of the stage, something that I have basically sworn never to do ever since the creation of the original build of Smashketball MAX. Well, that changes today. Introducing Smashketball MAX Remastered. Now, I don't know if this officially counts as a remaster or a remake, because while this is a separate save file and thus this will be released in tandem with the new patch, and there's some actual changes under the hood rather than just an aesthetic spit shine. This is not a complete and total reimagining of the Smashketball MAX formula. I guess you can decide whatever the heck you want to call it, but I'm calling it Smashketball MAX Remastered. Anyway, let's get into stuff. As you can see with this handy overlay right here, basically everything in between the rims of the baskets remains unchanged. The positions of the platforms, the distance between the floor and the ceiling, the standing room, the gap between the top of the rim of the basket and the ceiling, that sort of thing. Additionally, the distance between the dunk bars is the same, the distance between the bumpers is the same, the distance between the warp zones is the same, and the distance between the new wind boxes is the same. However, as you can see, there's obviously changes to the stage geometry, specifically having to do with the bumpers, the back walls, the undersides of the baskets, and the interior of the baskets. Let's get into these changes into detail, starting with the bumpers. Now, the changes with the bumpers and the geometry of the walls and the undersides of the baskets function in tandem to alter the behavior of the bumpers. First things first, the bumpers have been shifted 1 unit upwards to where that more of the side of the bumper is accessible. The new angled walls make it to where that less of the top of the bumper is accessible, and in general there is more space above the basket because of these new wall changes and because the basket geometry has been simplified on the bottom. This means that it is now substantially less likely to get stuck on the bumper and proceed to ping-pong between the bumper and the underside of the basket. On top of that, the alteration with the sidewalls means that if you get launched into the sidewall, you are more likely to bounce up and over the bumper rather than get stuck on the top of it. As a result of these changes, advantage and disadvantage state regarding the bottom corners of the stage has been optimized a bit. It's more streamlined, it's more predictable, and again, you're less likely to get stuck on the bumpers. The other big change involves the baskets. First things first, the warp zones have been shifted 1 unit upwards. This reduces the amount of vertical dead space inside of the basket, and it also increases the likelihood of directly hitting the warp zone's hitbox when you fly into the basket. In addition, the baskets have been made shallower. The bottom of the basket has been shifted 1 unit upwards to compensate for the new position of the warp zone, and the back of the basket has been shifted 1 unit inwards. As I said before, the position of the dunk bar remains unchanged. One additional change to the basket is the addition of a wind box. I had to include this in order to patch an old bug that is present in very early pre-release versions of Smashketball MAX. Within those versions, you could stand on the inside of the basket outside of the warp zone's detection range, thus you could stand inside the basket and be completely unscathed. This wind box fixes that. If you try to do that, the wind box will suck you towards the back of the basket, and thus suck you into the warp zone. Now, as a side effect of this is as small as you can make a wind box in the Smash Ultimate Stage Builder. And as you can see by its position, it extends upwards quite a bit, which means that escapability is now even more difficult. In the off chance that you are actually able to tech on the ceiling of the basket above the warp zone, you will likely be picked up by the wind box and pulled towards the back of the basket, making escapability basically impossible. In general, all of these changes make the stage more responsive. It drastically decreases the likelihood of your opponent surviving a perfectly angled shot into the basket, and it offers the potential of more moves being able to kill now. And those are all the major gameplay, internal stage geometry changes to Smashketball MAX in Smashketball MAX Remastered. One last addition, because I have no idea if it was true or not, I have added this small strip of lava here to potentially eliminate clipping in this area of the stage. But that's just a minor thing, it's a preventative measure, it doesn't really do anything to gameplay. All in all, Smashketball MAX feels better. Bumper advantage and disadvantage feels more natural, less janky, less obnoxious, and scoring as a whole feels more responsive because of the changes to the baskets. As always, with all the stuff that you have seen in this video, stage ID in the description. Hope you have a good time. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, get subscribed. I have big plans for this stage in the future. Gameplay, tier lists, that sort of thing. Thanks for watching. I am ANVECOM, and I will see you next time.